Oftentimes when we speak about God or speak to God, we actually use titles that represent Him. We say God, Lord, Father. But these are just titles. That's like calling me brother, uncle, son, musician, whatever. Those are just titles. Those are not actually my name. And the reality is God has a name. And there's something really profound in using a person's name. One of my biggest passions, I'd say even beyond music ministry, if I were to be honest, is street ministry. I love going down to the downtown east side and just, that's kind of a 4 or 5 block radius where people usually lock their doors, don't make eye contact, drive through a red light if they have to, but they just want to get out of that area. And my wife and I, we just love pulling over and just spending time, meeting new friends, seeing old friends that we've made over the years that call that place home. And something that I've noticed organically, when you just connect with these people week to week, you begin to know their names and more of their story. And when we go out there and we kind of yell their name across the street or try to get their attention, they usually turn around and they're just beaming. They're just so excited that someone knows their name. It just shows value and love, and there's this intimate relationship. There's this friendship that's deeper than just saying hi when you walk by. And the reality is that God does have a name, and His name is Yahweh. And not often do we use His name. We just use the titles that represent Him. Yahweh is actually mentioned 6,823 times in the Old Testament. When you see the word Lord, all capitals, that's His name, Yahweh. And a lot of people were even afraid to use that name. There's so much weight and so much holiness that is attached to that name that they're just afraid to even use the name. It's just overwhelming. I don't know if you feel that way sometimes when you have some friends who are just so on fire for the Lord and just living these amazing lives. You just begin to see your sin more and you begin to feel filthy because they're so holy. And that's the reality with God's name. It was just so holy that people were just afraid and they felt uncomfortable, and their sin was more exposed because of it. And Job chapter 9, I've been reading through the Bible chronologically. Shout out to YouVersion Bible app. They have an amazing chronological reading plan. But I remember reading through Job 9, which is quite early in this whole gospel story. It's actually happening during Genesis. And Job chapter 9, we're going to read that through our devotion today. But towards the end, he's just saying, man, I just feel filthy. Even if I wash myself with soap, I'm just filthy. And this is someone who God said was blameless. But he just is feeling so filthy, and he knows that he's sinful. And he just says, I just need this mediator. I need someone who can help me connect with God so God's not going to beat me or attack me or whatever. And he just knows that he needs this mediator. And years and years and years later, God provides this mediator. Yahweh provides this mediator named Jesus. And because of Jesus, we can have this right relationship. We can have this intimacy, which means we can call him his name and just have this confidence that we can be in this intimate relationship and call him Yahweh with confidence, knowing that we are saved and redeemed and we have this mediator who gave us this way to have this relationship with God. Like we talked about at the very beginning of this devotion, this idea of filters. And my filters when writing a song, my first filter is the Word, and my second filter is my church family. Well, God has a filter when he looks at us, and that filter is Jesus. And he sees us through this filter. So when he looks at us, he doesn't see sinful disasters. He sees righteous, redeemed saints because of the work of Jesus. So as you read through these devotions, as you spend time in prayer with God, with Yahweh, would you just know that you can have this intimacy with him like nothing else, that you can call him by his name, and he knows you by name and every intricate detail about you. So be confident when you enter his presence and when you read through these passages and when you spend time with him. Know that Yahweh loves you, that he sent his son for you, to have right relationship with him for all eternity.